What's up? What's up?
What's up?
This is episode 3 of D.I.E. Die, Diversity in Everything, where we go and we talk about the diverse natures of different topics and subjects. So, today we are speaking about pain and the past and how the past can give us present pain, or you know a present pain can bring up something from the past.
Facts,
You know, but we want to, as a collective, discuss ways that we can identify these entrapments and move past these entrapments. So that's it. Make sure you watch the episode previous to this. We always try and continue on the same path and build upon what we talked about previously. So watch episode 2 for sure.
Definitely. Episode 2 was very, very powerful. I would think, and the realization of the reasons why we do what we do. And I think that this one is going to dive deeper to really ask ourselves that seventh why on the reasons why we choose to do things or we choose not to do things, or why certain things affect us in matters that we know it should not affect us in. We shouldn't become this emotional off of a certain situation, but then at that point in time, we don't know how to control that energy and emotion based off of our pain and our past. I think that a lot of our pain that we suffer from now, subconsciously and consciously, is literally derived from certain habits that we grew up being programmed within us. And which is so cold is those habits are deeper and further than just my parental age. My parents' age. It's something deeper. Because their parents instilled that within their parents instilled that within them, parents, and then with the slave master instilled into them, which is still being given to this day.
I think it's deeper than a habit, honestly. I think it's more so a mindset, a mind frame. People think that, and I mentioned this video before, but people think that poverty is they think that poverty is a financial status. And what people don't necessarily understand is the difference between poor, poverty, and broke.
Yeah.
There can be, you can have $1 million in your pocket and be broke.
Yeah.
You can be broke and have millions of dollars flowing through your bank account.
Literally
broken.
Yeah.
But if you're only breaking even, or if you're not, surpassing, that's considered broke. So if somebody say I'm broke, that means, I'm just breaking even. I don't have the system that I have developed for my finances is broken at the moment. When someone says if they're poor, it is the lack of belief, or it is an emotional structure that that keeps them in this confine. You're poor in your mind. You're poor in the like if someone had poor posture, it's like saying,
right,
you know what I'm saying? I was watching my posture. I was like, oh man. So, but that's not saying that they don't have posture. It's saying they have poor posture. Poor is an adjective to a place or thing.
Yeah. To that now. I dig what you're saying. I definitely dig what you're saying.
Poverty is a system.
That gas, boy.
That gets. Poverty is a system that people learn from. poverty is a way of life. You can have um like people who are hood rich.
Yeah.
You can still be in poverty and be rich
Mm-hmm.
based off of your mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And in your point of view. Poverty is saying, I've reached this level. This is all that I attain or desire to attain. This is all that I have attained and desire to attain. And this is the epitome of what my life will be. So you have a lack of drive, you have a lack of willpower, you have a lack of motivation for new information or new things, and it really becomes it's because it's a product of our past.
Yeah.
Our past leads us into poverty, that learned behavior of how we deal with each other in business, or like if I have an expectation, like I'm gonna come to, like, let's say I come and ask you a question,
Okay.
and I go, and I need a favor,
Mm-hmm.
and I go, bro, I'm a whoop 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 for you, but I need you to do for me. You know what I'm saying? But it's really the reason why that approach was given, because of the learned behavior of how we expect people to view the need of help. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if I were to come to you like, hey bro, I need whoop whoop whoop. You got me? Or, you know what I'm saying, what's up? It's a different approach, and that comes from our poverty mindset.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying, because it's like a motherfucker who need help, right? And they come to you and be like, dang, bruh, you know, I'm just going through this, and I'm going through that, and I'm going through this, and oh my God, I got so much on my plate. And then that's the end of the conversation.
But
they're
really
looking for help.
They was looking for help.
But that's the reason why they're expressing all of this to you, because in actuality, they're looking for help. But because of their past, and maybe even the pain of them asking for help at a point in time and them being completely rejected over and over and over and over again, that puts them in the form of, now I'm just going to express what I'm going through, and hopefully somebody has the compassion, the empathy to reach out that hand and help. Exactly. Instead of them continue on with the, yo, bro, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, I'm going through this, I'm going through that.
And it doesn't have to be financial.
No, it doesn't.
Be emotional,
it could be spiritually, anything. And
Exactly.
it just be like, I need help, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I think that it also comes from the pain of feeling as if we can't be dependent, especially within the Black culture, because in the Black culture, everything is taught for you to be independent. Like, even separated from your siblings. Like, your siblings do this, but you do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I also think that it comes from the pain of the separation in the household of the siblings, of, I have a different mom and you got a different mom, but we got the same dad, but I'm staying over here with mom and dad and you staying over there with mom. Or, you know, we got the same mom, but we got different dad. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And I'm that only staying with the single parent. So now I almost have like an envious feeling, because you have what I feel should be the correct form of family. Mom, dad, in the same household, you know? And because of that pain, we're only taught to develop independency, which in return actually does not allow us to develop the independency. We actually end up developing the codependency.
So, wow, that's really good. It's really good. And we actually begin to be codependent on that place and space of I guess I would call it false humility. You know what I'm saying? Like the person who came to ask in that, I got, you know,
now I'm humiliated.
I'm humiliated. I presented you in this humility, and now I'm waiting for the reward of my humility, almost, rather than just the clear answer of what I need and the yay or the nay. and that's a point of view or a perception, and that's why I wanted to really, we have to understand what is pain. We have to understand what is the perception of pain, and do we actually have to experience pain?
Mm.
Is pain something that is, did we learn pain? You know what I mean? Or is pain something that's just given to us? Like I look at my little one and I'm like, okay, there's some
Mm.
things that, you know, he finds painful, but I know he learned that from being in a particular place or space around a particular people.
Mm.
You know what I
Mm.
mean?
Mm.
So I'm like, because really, there were times where you would expect something to pain them,
Mm-hmm.
or a child or a person, and they'd be like,
Okay.
I didn't know that it was
Supposed to hurt.
supposed to hurt.
So it didn't hurt.
I didn't. I was almost failed.
Ooh.
I didn't know I was supposed to be scared, so I never experienced that fear.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
So pain. If we learn ourselves to the degree of, am I really supposed to be taking this in to the degree of pain, to where, is that really supposed to be the way that I take on this experience? Or am I supposed to utilize negative and positive neutrons to generate a positive experience, even in the midst of negativity? Because I mean, it's not like it's not always there.
Yeah, no, no, that's facts. Because when you said that, as far as like learning pain, it instantly brought up, you know, things that happen outside of our culture. And you know me, bro. I'm a big anime fan. I love fucking anime.
Right.
But it's not even just anime. You know what I'm saying? It's even when you, bruh, even when you think about it, and you go back to Martin, when he left Gina and went to the young temple.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They had the half ball half.
Uh-huh.
Bruh, all right. So if you remember, they was trying to take him back from the temple, right? And they had to go through those challenges. And one of the challenges was the pain, because they had to walk over the young coals. Remember?
To not experience.
Bruh, and he walked over the coals, and everybody else, instantly jumped up off the coals. So it's all like that instantly, what you saying, do we learn pain? You know what I'm saying? To truly define what pain actually is, that just instantly brought that back to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's just not in that show. It's multiple shows. We've seen it, movies, all of that. We've all seen that type of separation from what is actually physical pain. And it just makes me think that, like you said, are we even supposed to be bringing it in, taking it in that deep to it? Exactly. It affects us that much, because the pain that I've experienced has actually affected me in a certain way, and I think it's because I know because I've allowed that pain to affect me in that way. I've dwelled in the negative, or the negative aspect of that situation, instead of dwelling with the positive aspect. And what's so crazy is, the only reason why we sit here having these conversations, and we've started this, is because I changed my perception on pain. And I went through the deepest heartache, and that shit literally transformed me into a whole nother person, actually very, very positive person. But I had, in that time and space, I had to completely fucking change my mindset into that of what is pain, and do I even need to allow pain to cut me that deep, to the point where I'm in shambles now. Are
we hurting, or are we growing, is the question. And that's what I'm getting to, is a lot of times, most times, pain itself, even when it manifests physically, comes from inflammation. Inflammation is irritation, or a swelling of, or a growth of a thing that is normally one size, and it is enlarged due to a irritation of. So when we talk about pain, is this really pain, or are we growing, or are we inflamed with some type of foreign or new information? And are we going to do we have a proper emotional antibody, or a proper emotional, what is it, the system, your immune system, is your emotional immune system properly deciphering what is what? Because the immune system is really fighting against things that aren't supposed to be. But a lot of times people fight against things that should be. It's almost like they have a emotional autoimmune disease. You know, it's like there are good things. You know what I'm saying? Like my emotional immune system stops me from even receiving the good that's supposed to happen because of my guard, or my, you know, whatever that may be, or my perception of what I don't want to experience, i.e. pain.
Ooh, I spilled my goddamn coffee. Don't be like me now.
Yeah, drink that coffee.
But I mean, not that would then. I wonder if I would have actually dropped that, because my foot's right here and it cracked, and the shit would have cut me or anything like that. Would I have actually experienced pain based off of my past? Because I've been taught to, when I cut myself, that's instantaneous pain. But we can see people. Bruh, what was it? I remember a couple years ago I was into this Stan Lee's, I think it's like Amazing Superheroes or something like that. It was a show where they went around the world and videotaped people doing amazing shit. Like, and a lot of that shit would be on the same line of what is pain. One dude sat there and put a whole sword against his skin, and it didn't cut it, you know, and it was in multiple places, you know what I'm saying? Somebody broke a bamboo stick across their shins, you know what I'm saying? This dude was actually drilling his throat with the drill bit, you know what I'm saying, in his head, and it was leaving like these small markings, you know, maybe slight, but my dude was fine, you know what I'm saying? He was Gucci, having conversations with the host, you know, all of that, and it showed no sign of pain. It was this man who was climbing tall ass fucking mountains with literally his bare fingertips, like just like the monkeys do. I'm talking about this dude was climbing like damn near 90-degree angle mountains, which as a human is considered impossible.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Considered impossible. But he did that, and that means that he had to separate himself from the lack of pain. You see what I'm saying? Because most people, if we put too much pressure on our fingernails, we feel like it's painful. A girl break her nail, bruh. We all seen a girl break her acrylic nail, and it literally tear off that little, you know, that little baby skin. The little.
I'm sure it hurt.
It hurt. That's all they say. But it's all like, are we taught to experience that pain? Because that's what she saw her mom break a nail and be like, ah.
Almost,
you see what I'm saying?
or even to go into fear, because pain and fear tend to be one and the same.
Facts.
They come together.
Yeah. Different sides of the umbrella.
Like algebra. I used to be afraid of algebra. I used to be afraid of math. I used to be like, when I was in elementary, I was like, man, I really don't want to take these math classes, because everything I see on television is saying like, oh, algebra, oh, it was so dreadful. And I was taught to view it that way. And it's funny because I've always viewed it that way up until recently. I was sitting with the homegirl, and we had a conversation about a truck. And the truck was moving at a certain speed. And it says it goes from 0 to 60 in 5 seconds with no trailer. We're talking about semi-trucks.
Okay.
Why me and the homegirl was talking about semi-trucks.
That's what just needed to happen at that point in time.
Right. So, and we were like, okay, with the trailer, it goes from 0 to 60 in 30 seconds. But we're like, wow, that's a big difference. How much does the tractor weigh and how much does the trailer weigh?
Mm.
Well, only thing we know is how much the tractor weighs. And then we know this tractor goes from this seconds to this second. So without the variable of knowing what the trailer is, we need to figure out what the trailer weighs so we can know how many pounds per second it decreased from 5 seconds to 60 seconds was the goal.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And we did that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I never was enthusiastic. I ran from those processes, and really, only thing we did was Google a formula. Once we found out the formula, the math was the math.
Mm. Got the formula. The formula to overcome the past pain that you experienced. But you had to have it in you had to have the conversation in a different context to understand it. You know, that's man.
See,
but that's true for a lot of shit. Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
Cause what I was leading to was my point of we even, like in moments like that was a situation of when I was a child, something was hard for me. Mm-hmm. I had fear, and it was anguish or fear anguish, which can be related to as pain towards a particular thing that I didn't have the formula for. And now, as I have the formula, I can go through that thing and it doesn't feel anguish, fear, or pain me the way that it used to, right? So just how, like, when we was kids and we'd be upset at our parents about stuff, that now we older and we like, wow, I understand. Yeah. That same perception of pain is the same overcoming that we can have with pain. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh wow, once I realize that this right here is not this right here, and identify what this variable is, then I can better understand and not feel anxiety, pain, anguish, guilt, or whatever that confusion, whatever that thing may be, you know, as in the variable of pain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But,
no.
I wanted to.
I feel that, cause it's like I feel like almost like when you think about it, like it's like I think that form of mindset will come with the conversations that emotional conversations that we might need to have with that we need to have with our parents and, you know, our elderly folks. You know, I think that with having those conversations, that formula will be presented, which would allow us to be able to solve any problem.
And that's the thing. Once we get back the respect for our ancestors and those who came before us, and really reverence them for who they were, no matter who they were, because they still created who I and we are, and what we have,
and what we could have,
we then will get to a place where we can put those variables into that formula and figure out, okay, what's my math? Like, when is my life gonna add up? Okay, because I took the time to take those variables from those who came before me, and I took them and added them to my math, and I see now, because that's the missing pieces. That's all.
Yep. And I think that, you know, because we have pain with the lack of knowledge from our past, once we actually know our past, that would alleviate the pain that we're feeling right now and have that community that we desperately once again need.
Subconsciously, we was taught to run from our past because our parents never shared with us their past. So it was, okay, well, the past is something that is not discussed. So it turned into, I'm so subconsciously not discussing the past, I can't even recall what got me in this place to even understand how to get out of this place. And I think that's generationally what we've come to. And when we decide, like, okay, it's time to really face the past in the present and not lose it in the midst of facing the past, we'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll eliminate all that pain. But we appreciate y'all tuning in. You know, catch us for the next episode. You know, I'm only gonna say it one time. After this, I don't really care about that shit. But just if y'all feeling that shit, you know, resonate, you know, like that shit, share that shit, subscribe to us. You know, we'll be back. If y'all got any good references or comments or anything like that, put them in the comments, man. Definitely interact with us, man. Let us know. We human and we want to have conversations with y'all as well. You know what I'm saying? Not just to y'all. So definitely reach out to us, man. We definitely here, and we appreciate y'all for real, for real. So we catch y'all next time.
Peace.